no vultures. Welcome to Culturally Biased, where we discuss everything in the culture, for the culture, by the culture, excluding the vultures. I'm your host, O.
It's me, man.
What's going on, Mitch?
How you doing, man?
I'm pretty good, man. Good to see you.
Shut up.
See, that's how we gonna start today?
It's on the road, man.
I'm tired of you, man.
Good to see you. What's up, man?
Nothing,
What you
man.
do? You was out here?
When a day? So I gotta go get a haircut, that's it. I was just waiting for it to wait until 7:30.
Yeah,
boy.
you show the people you got the people stop.
Yeah, you driving this
That's
stuff,
a new
dog.
cut,
It's
man.
gonna pick
New
up
cut.
everything.
What, the phone?
Yeah,
It's
you-
alright, man.
Bang the
They
mic
ain't
every
know.
week.
They ain't know.
It's on video. They gonna see it. But how was your week though?
It's cool, man. I'm on vacation from work, so.
For real? Winter vacation?
Yeah.
That's dope. That's dope.
So I've been getting tortured in the house.
all this virtual school.
Mm-hmm.
We have a very, very, very special guest today in the building.
We got company today, baby.
So I expect you to be on your best behavior today.
How you chilling?
Dog, you know, man. So many ways to introduce this guy, man. The chef, but we ain't talking about Raekwon or Steph. You know what I mean? Cultural icon,
Mm-hmm.
fashion guru. I mean, I can keep going, man. I don't know, man. It's a lot, man. But we got the world famous Big Rube in the building today. How you doing, man?
I'm great. Thanks for having me.
We appreciate you coming on, man.
Thanks for coming. Thanks for coming.
Yeah, man. I've been waiting for this interview for a while, man. So we gonna jump right into. We gonna jump around today. You know, we gonna talk about the fashion, the cooking, of course. Mitchell and Ness. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
So we gonna start though. We gonna start from the beginning. I mean, where you grew up at and all that. So you wanna jump into that?
Yeah. I grew up in West Philly. You know, my parents was married. You know, they was in Nation of Islam.
Okay.
Got divorced when I was 3, and so I just had basically a righteous upbringing. You know what I mean? Like my father and my mom said, "We ain't raised you to be no Negro."
Right.
So you know, so a lot of stuff that I saw that was going on in the streets with my peers. You know what I mean?
Right.
My morals wouldn't allow me to go there. So,
That's what's up,
yeah,
man. That's what's up,
yeah.
definitely. What high school you went to?
West Philly, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
True West Philly.
Yeah, dropped out in 91.
Okay. What grade was that?
11th grade.
Okay.
Oh, he
Okay.
was like, dang, I can't do no more. Yeah, this, man.
Yeah, after I got hurt, I was playing on the varsity football team and playing MLK. And the linebacker sat on my ankle, the one that I'm wearing a boot at. But I blocked for a touchdown. That was crazy. Yeah, I'm like,
And got hurt the same play.
Yeah, I'm crying for my mother. My coach, Coach Kelly, pulled me out. He's like, "Man, just blocked for a touchdown." My thing just blew up. Ambulance came.
It was broke. You broke it?
Yeah.
Hey.
Cracked like a chicken bone.
I broke my ankle when 16. Oh man, never.
Come out in front of the.
Yeah, and coming out of that club.
Oh, you talking about that part?
Yeah.
Oh, that was your knee. What I'm talking about.
Yeah, I broke my ankle at 16, man. That's the worst pain in the world. My ankle still ain't right, man.
I'm telling you.
Never get right.
Get it together, man.
Yeah.
Were you growing up, and you said you grew up and you seen so basically you seen everybody hustling and saw drugs. Like you get into what kept you off the streets as far as not wanting to sell drugs or anything like that? Like what was your
I mean, everybody has a vice, and you know, it depends on your household. You know what I mean?
Right.
Like my mom and my grandma, they ruled it like fists. My grandfather, you know what I mean? So it was just like I was taught early, if I'm disappointed in you, that's the worst thing.
Right.
So I never wanted them to be disappointed in
Right.
me. So, you know what I mean? I seen like that. You know what I mean? I'm not saying like I walked that line,
Right.
but at the end of the day, I knew where to cut it off.
Right.
You know what I mean? I saw my peers was like, oh yeah, let's do this. Let's steal a car. Let's be lookout boys. I'm like, nah, you know what I mean? My folks ain't going for that.
Right.
So, and you know, I court all that, you know what I mean? You corny, Rube, you know what I mean? This and that. But my self-esteem was so strong from my household, it didn't even matter.
Right.
You know what I mean? And I know it's sad to say, through the generations, most people can't handle that pressure.
Right.
Yeah.
They, nah, I'm going to just join in. You see what we see in the hood.
Right.
You know what I mean? Because it's a group mentality that, for negativity, not positivity.
Right,
Just imagine we put that to positive, we'd be the strongest force.
We don't have a lot of upbringings like you have nowadays. Like everybody in the house supporting you so much to where you don't have to play in the street, so on and so forth, or
it's not even
be cool to try to hustle all type of shit like that.
Yeah, it's not even 2-parent households, man. You know, we coming up.
I think I was the last, so I'll be 47 in February, and I grew up with a lot of people, you know, a lot of guys, girls, my mother and father was in the house.
That's dope.
Like that, yeah, that was.
I can count on my hands how many of my friends had both parents in the household. He one of them. But that's it, man. It's a group of us, and we all came out good. Like none of us really touched the street. Probably a couple of us.
And that's like
but we had a solid upbringing, and I think it was more so because we were together.
Yeah, that's what I was about to say. It's like you get raised a certain percentage at home, and then that other percentage is like whoever you hang with in the streets. Or whatever. That's also dependent on, like you said, you had such a good upbringing in the house. Outside it influenced you like that.
No, I worked at Burger King, and and I used to wear my uniform because for me I was proud, like I'm earning my own money. And they used to clown me. Look at him, he flipping burgers for the white man. Oh, it was crazy, like. But my self-esteem, like, it didn't get to me. The guys that work with me, as soon as shift was over, they take that Burger King polo shirt off. Ain't nobody seeing me in that. You know what I mean? But it was just like, that's when you see where you going, and that, you know, you got to see it and then walk into it. But when you see it, it don't even faze you. You know what I mean?
So like the hustlers and trappers in your neighborhood, you ain't ever see them like, damn, dog, I'm trying to see what that's about. They get into the bread off fast.
Oh no, everybody wanted to be Benji, Tommy Hampton, my cousin Giovanni, you know what I mean? Like, they had man, so many hood stars that came out of my hood that I go see a lot of them in federal prison now. It's just like, wow. You know what I mean? And they so proud of me. It's like, of all that, you determined to be solid. And I'm their motivation, you know what I mean? Like, it's just, and it's a humbling thing because when I'm driving up there to see them, when I go there, it's just like, I'm like, Big Rube in a visiting room. It's like, and I, you know, at the end of the day, people always put things in like perspective, like, damn, you know, you did this, but I mean, for me, like, I just drove up here to see it, like, I'm me, like, this is, ain't no
real humble guy.
Like, and that's how I was raised. It's like, I'm willing to put the work in that you will never do. So whatever accolades come from that, but at the end of the day is what I want to do.
For sure.
You know what I mean? And sad not too many people have that motivation. Just like, look, I get up 6 o'clock in the morning, do this, do that, and people only see like 10% of what. It's so much.
They don't see the work. They don't see the work. They all they see is they see the finished product. Right. They don't see you driving when you gotta go. They just see when you park.
Exactly.
You know what I mean? So I definitely get it. So, how'd you get into the fashion, like all the fashion world and all that, man?
Yeah, so my mom, my grandmom, they seamstress. So
Okay.
I grew up seeing them beautiful women, wedding gowns, prom dresses. I always saw that, and then just my they both just stylish women.
Right.
And I should have been in it so much faster,
Right.
but that was one of the things that hindered me. I was like, man, that's a feminine thing. I didn't
Right.
know that a lot of men in that is into the fashion game and just exploring, because people always looked at me how I put together, like they used to call me Baby Ralph in the hood,
Right.
because I had so much polo stuff, and especially I wasn't selling no dope.
Right.
I'm waiting tables at the time at the Holiday Inn.
Okay.
And you know what I mean? I'm going to a polo shop. John Wanamaker's had the fly stuff. So all the hood stars like, how Rube flyer than me, and I'm hustling. You know what I mean?
And then look, and you a big guy too, so that's like you killed him both ways, man.
Yeah. So it was just like one of them things. Just so I led that way, and I always loved sports.
Right.
I'm a sports fan. I mean, stats. Like,
right.
You can ask me certain things and I just know it. I just have that type of memory. So I was able to put my love of sports and fashion, and for a 10-year period, shopping at a company called Mitchell & Ness,
Right.
which I made a household name. I was a customer.
For sure.
Putting jerseys on layaway, buying Negro League
Right.
hats. But I was the one that gravitated towards those $300 jerseys that nobody touched. Everybody was going just to get the Negro League hats. Because that's what, in the early 90s, that's what you went to Mitchell & Ness for.
Right.
Get your Homestead Grays hat, Ethiopian Clowns.
Right.
You know what I mean? All those hats. So I gravitated over there. And it was...
That's when, I know Mitchell & Ness had 3 different locations. Was that when it was?
No, it was only one.
Okay.
1229 Walnut.
Okay, that was the one near Goldberg, right?
No, right off the corner of 13th and Walnut Street.
Okay, because now they on like 12th and
12th and Chestnut.
Yeah, between Chestnut and Market.
Yeah.
Okay.
What made you want to start, I guess, like styling other people? What made you want to put your fashion ideas on other, individuals?
Well, that came out of, one of the good things, when dudes hustling, they got money to spend. So cats like the way I like put looks together and, talked about fashion. So, you know what I mean? All the hood stars, they would pay me to dress their females.
Okay.
Right.
You know what I mean? I go shopping and doing that. I was like, man, I got business cards made up and everything. It's like, I was telling people that, that I had just like-mindedness and just seeing my future. Like, yo, I'm going up New York. I'm gonna, start styling videos and this and that. And it was just so lofty. And I got like, man, what you like? But I'm the type, I get fuel off of that. You think my wildest ideas, I'm like, I'm gonna make it happen, because I know how to put my head down and just go for that target. You know what I mean? You the matador right there, I'm the bull. Boom, you know what I mean? So I was doing that, like, this was in the time in the late 90s where everybody called me the Cake Man. That's Chronicle and Time Magazine and Sports Illustrated, talking about, I used to go to all the hair salons and barbershops in Philly, all over the city.
Right.
I'm one of the very few dudes from Philly, that didn't sell dope that was known like a drug dealer in the streets.
Right.
Everybody knew Big Rube the Cake Man in the 90s. Because I went to all the hair salons and barbershops, sold my fresh cakes, my fried chicken, my ground turkey lasagna, all that.
Right.
People knew me, you know what I mean? So like when it was carnival time, going to the summer league games, like Big Rube here, like, you know what I mean? It was just like, it was something, because my cousin saw it. The one, he doing life in prison in Feds, Giovanni.
Okay.
And he's like, yo, man, I'm telling you, he the only one that seen me, like, he said, you're going to change the world. He said, everybody love you. They just gravitate towards your spirit. Because at the end of the day, I knew I was going to be doing a lot of things, but I didn't know particularly just that one thing. And I wasn't supposed to do one thing. I just knew. I used to just sitting around talking to the homies, shooting dice, be like, yo, my name built for these lights. People gonna know who I am.
For sure.
You know, he took it for granted. Oh, whatever. But like 20-something years later, it's like from either they're around or the social media or even letters from prison. Like, Rube, you said it and you did it.
That's amazing. That's definitely amazing.
Wow.
Philly got a couple nice designers right now. I'm gonna say Milano. If you ever heard of
I
him.
know her.
Benny Paru.
Yeah.
How you feel about these younger people with these brands? I'm like,
I love it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Just express yourself. You know what I mean? Just put your head down, go for that target. You know what I mean? It's like I always tell people, and some people reach out to me that's aspiring to do something. I was like, look, at the end of the day, I had my inspiration, because everybody have an inspiration, whether it's negative or positive. My inspiration came out of my household. You know what I mean? Seeing what they did. So it was just like, okay, no limits. Just take it there. Because I seen my grandmom and women come in and like, well, I want it this way. It's like, you came to me, you getting in my way. So that's how I do it. Like with all my services, I don't let the customer dictate what they want to me. It's like, you came to me, I'm giving you what I want to give you. That's why you came to me. I always learned, my grandma told me, it's like, you know, this thing, the customer's always right. That's hogwash, like I say. It's like, a customer has $1 million, this range to go with they want for your services. What they want, they came to you. You got them. So they don't know what they want. It's for you to serve them, give them what you got, and don't waver. So, I mean, I don't edit myself on nothing.
Because half the time when we get custom stuff, and I know you're nice at what you do, I'm gonna say, yo, do your thing. I step back. Like,
let the artist be an artist.
Yeah, definitely.
And whatever you do, a mechanic is an artist. You know what I mean? So that's you expressing yourself.
Yeah, you gotta let them do their thing, and then turn out the best way it possibly will.
Yeah.
Did your photography hustle come in with the fashion, or was that something after?
That came, so the photography was something because I grew up the Life magazines, and if y'all heard of Gordon Parks, the iconic photographer. I gotta look him up. Gordon Parks, he was he shot for Life magazine. All those iconic photos you seen of Muhammad Ali, Malcolm X, he shot all those. Yeah, Gordon Park, he died in 2003.
Gotcha.
So Life magazine, you know, his picture's in there. So my grandma was a subscriber, and he shot in Vogue. So I'm looking at all this stuff, the way he shot it, and that was in my cognitive. Like, okay, damn. So back in 2009, my brother bought me a camera. I took him to an Eagles game on the sideline. So he was like, man, I'm gonna buy you a camera for your birthday. And I was like, wow, I always wanted a camera, but it was a digital camera. And I started going around shooting people on the street just candidly. And I said, I really want to take it back. I went to a thrift shop, bought a film camera, that you got to put the film in there, 35 exposures. And I really I said, I'm going to take this on an art level. And that's what I started doing. And that was crazy because I got 2 receptions honing my photography skills. It was like, I know you big Rube, or what you doing? What you taking my photo for? Like, that's you know, so, and I saw it and was like, it was a void in Philly for what I was doing, because if you in New York, it was a famous photographer for New York Times, Bill Cunningham. That's what he did. He just went around Philly, took stylish, candid shots of people, whatever, posed. And I was like, wow, we don't have that here. So I started a blog, and I reached out to the newspaper. And for 5.5 years, I had the column in the paper.
Yeah, I remember that.
Yeah, and people like women, they would email me. they would tweet me, Instagram. It's like, I'm dressed this certain way. I hope I run into you.
Right.
And that was something. It was like how that in infancy, just me getting that camera, me had a plan, and how that got executed. Just
I always remember that from he got you in the paper and you got the scarf around your neck.
Yeah. all right, yeah.
For sure.
Yeah.
Definitely, man. So man, let's jump into this the Mitchell and Ness thing, man.
Okay,
Let's talk about Mitchell, man. So when you got on board, well, you said you was shopping there since '91.
Yeah, I knew my old partner Peter.
Okay.
For 10 years.
Wow.
Yeah.
And because I didn't even know Mitchell was open that long.
Oh yeah.
You know what I mean? Like I knew it was like just like a little hobby shop that everybody used to like. Well, nobody knew until like you put everybody on.
Mm-hmm.
So how did the whole partnership go?
Yeah, so I mean, like I said, I was shopping there for 10 years, and I had those lofty ideas,
Right.
even like back in the mid '90s. I said, you don't know what you got. I said,
Right.
Man, I said, cats from my hood, they will love this. You know what I mean? And it's just like, cause I said every time I'm wearing these $300 jerseys, $500 jacket, I'm stopping traffic. And it's like, man, like, you don't know what you got. So it was like, I said, I got to put this out there. So I came to him with my buddy Set Free. He's the one that set up the contract.
Right.
And my man Set Free, and1.
Yeah, I knew his name sounded familiar.
Yeah, and we grew up together.
That's always like,
so,
yeah.
So, you know what I mean? Put together the paperwork and everything. It was just like, it was nothing big in the infancy because it wasn't no budget.
Right.
It was not less than a dozen people working at the company because this is how much I knew. I didn't know. I just thought it was a store, but it was a company. It had a few other sporting goods stores around the country that he sold the jerseys to. Yeah. But when I came through, I infused hip hop culture. I infused, our buying power. And everything, and it was just like, my man Troy Carter, who I grew up with, that was Eve's manager. Right. He was Lady Gaga manager. You know what I mean? Okay. We come up together. We went to school and everything, and reached out to him, and he would tell me where the video shoots at. And I would call with, back in the day when you flip the pages. A Source and XXL, you call record companies, magazines, all that, and they used to hang up on me, because nobody knew. And I always tell people, and when I'm speaking, because I do a lot of public speaking, interviews, I'm like, really close your mind to it. It's like, if I say Mitchell and Ness to you, forget about what I did. It's like, so what does it sound like? Like a law firm.
For sure.
Nobody. A law firm. Sure. So I was like, I made a law firm sounding name into a worldwide brand. Right. So, I had to do that because, like I said, I would call record companies and everything. They would hang up on me, literally. Yeah, what? Right. So
I don't owe you any money.
Yeah, exactly. So, you know what I mean? I got on these video shoots. I met Fab. You know what I mean? Met Puff at the album release, and it was just. Boom, everybody, they love my spirit, my energy. Right. And I was just lacing them, and then that's what y'all saw, because, y'all younger than me. That lit up y'all. So I'm like, damn, that's in my city, what I mean? Yeah. So, from there, so all that, like me picking out the jerseys and working with Nike and Adidas with the colorways of what we releasing, all that stuff. It's just like, it changed the whole hip hop culture around.
Sure.
You know what I mean? Sure. And with all that, like other fashion, they see that like from every fashion brand copied off of what we were doing, colorways, aesthetic, silhouettes, all that. You know what I mean? It's just like, wow. Kid from West Philly dropped out of high school, influenced the whole world. You know what I mean?
For sure. How long after you partnered up with them did it take for it to expand like that?
I mean, with less than a year. Yeah, like within 6 months, MTV was interviewing me, and I'm like, and I never. It just always like, what they want to know about me. I'm like, I'm doing this for hip hop culture, but I didn't see at the time that it's like, no, people want to know the backstory of you, how you just changed the whole culture. You know what I mean? It's like, oh, okay. Then I was seeing it because Sway, he interviewed me when he was with MTV News, and he was like, nah, dog. And I admired him. I used to listen to Wake Up Show, Late Night Power 99. It's like, man, he coming to interview me. They came down to Philly and everything. So it was, it was monumental.
You understand now, you the face of a brand that really ain't nobody know about.
Yeah,
definitely was the face. Definitely still is the face.
That's true, because we don't know nothing about it until
I never seen a picture of the guy Peter. Like I never seen a picture of him, like ever.
Yeah, it was something. It was like, athletes and rappers was paying other people for my number. Like Lil Wayne called me. I'll never forget that. He told me he paid $5,000 for my number. He's like, I remember I was walking down 6th Ave in New York, and he was like, yeah, you know what I mean, Big Rube. So yeah, he's like, it's Wheezy. I was like, yeah, what up? And he's like, yo, I'm saying I'm doing a video shoot. You know what I mean? He's like, I paid $5,000 to get your number.
That's crazy.
And I still don't know who the person.
Whoever
that's
that
crazy.
Somebody came up. I need $5,000.
Yeah, you know what I mean? You know the fluctuation of money. Back in 2001, $5,000 is
probably like 20.
Yeah.
20, 40.
Yeah. So it was crazy, you know what I mean? I met up with them and everything. They came to New York and they flew me down to New Orleans, and that's one of the things. I never wanted to be in any videos.
Right.
I'm in a couple, but I always made a point. I'm not Jacob the Jeweler.
Right. You ain't in it.
Yeah. No.
Behind the scenes.
Yeah, because and I figured that out. It's like it make me more intriguing and a mystery.
Yeah,
right.
You know what I mean?
Definitely. For sure.
Yeah.
I think I know what video it is. I think Wayne had the Jerry Rice. Wayne had a couple jerseys on the joint. He definitely had the white Jerry Rice on and a couple other joints, I think. I think it was like the joint, I'm a stunner. That was yeah.
There's so many.
Cash Money had a lot of jerseys.
You know what I mean? Like, a lot of them, I was on them sets, you know what I mean?
Right.
The joint they did with Clips, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Who that boy?
You ain't want to be in the video dancing with the two crystals
No.
in your hand and shit? Shoulder bopping?
Thought you was going to behave the day dog.
Yeah, but it's, you know what I mean? I get a lot of it, and it's just like, no, I'm cool. That wasn't never my demeanor. You know what I mean? It's just like, no, I'll be right here. I enjoy all this and watch y'all do y'all thing. I'm just happy that, this product that I saw when I was 17, it's incredible. Yeah.
I know before Mitchell, like everybody just wore like regular jerseys. And I know Fab was like a Jersey king. So like, how was your relationship? How your relationship with Fab?
Man, we traveled, like Fab would come to Philly, and I mean, like, I'm not a strip club dude. And Fab be like, man, let's go to Atlanta. I'm like, that's my homie.
Right.
He take me to Magic City Mondays and all
Right.
that, chilling, you know what I mean?
Right.
We in LA together, you know what I mean, staying at the W Hotel. But you know what I mean, like when he came here, do shows, I take him up to Original Chicken and Pizza on Frankfurt and Robbins and everything. So, you know what I mean, he's a real good friend. So they interviewed him for my documentary and everything. He came down, Philly Lapstone and Hammer.
Okay.
You know what I mean, did a few Instagram posts, like letting everybody know, like, yeah, this is the guy that put it all together.
Yeah.
So we still close.
What other celebrities you build a relationship with?
I mean, you name it. It's just like, man, like, and it's crazy because a lot of them cats, they just love me for my genuineness. Like, I curse out Puff and Jay-Z, and they like, what can I say? It's like, because they don't get that in their regular
Nah,
life.
they got yes,
You know what I mean? Yeah, you know what I
They
mean?
got yes.
Cause,
You don't give them that celebrity status.
No,
you regular like me, cuz.
Yeah, because I
We
never
from the same way.
Yeah, I never forget. We had a rehearsal at Daddy's house, and it was all the hitmen and Puff, Clark Kent, Loon just came home, but we all in a circle, and we talking this and that. And I didn't offer instinct. I was like, yo, chill. He's like, and everybody looked, and I ain't think nothing of it. And Clark, he pulled me to the side. He was like, man, that's why I love you. So you my little brother, man. I fucks with you. You don't care about none of this shit. He said, you just told Puff to shut the fuck up. Like, you know what I mean? Nobody do that. Like,
right.
So the next morning, I get out the hotel room. I meet Loon, and we about to go back in the studio. And Puff come through with his Ferrari and everything. Hey, Big Rube, fuck you. So he had to he'd drive his joint, and then wherever he stopped, security would get out and cover his car and everything. But it was the craziest moment. You should have seen. It was like, he was playing around, but it was just like, oh, that's my right. Get back. You know what I mean? Yeah.
So what was your is that like your personality or like your hustle? How do you build so many relationships with all these people through the like partnering with the newspaper, Mitchell and Ness, being in restaurants and things like that?
I think one is just, it's like, all of us are individuals in here, but you going back, you pulling back fabric that if I know something about, I find out something about you that you like, and and I go into like, wow, that's your passion.
Right.
And I can embark on a conversation that make us build. Okay. So I was like that, like when Scarface came to Mitchell and Ness, and I took them under, so above Mitchell and Ness was like our history thing. It's called Read More Books, where all the old magazines where we got the photos of the uniforms and everything. And I was talking to Scarface about his love. I knew he loved the Houston Oilers.
Right.
And he loved Joe Morgan.
Right.
So talking to him about that. And Peter was standing there and everything with Scarface manager. He was bewildered. He's like, how did you find this stuff out? I said, I read up on him.
Yeah.
He was one of my, hip hop idols growing up. Yeah. Like, it's just not what he did, is like his backstory. So we became cool. Like, he did MTV Cribs, and then I happened to call him while he and he answered the phone. Right. And Big Rube, like, that's, you know what I mean? So all these things about a certain, personality or a world leader that I've met and everything, always went back to not what people just talk about, like go into a layer that sparks something that they'll never forget you.
Okay.
You know what I mean? I just, because I love reading about people.
Right.
You know what I mean? I love, because we all came here. I always say this and I implore this. We all the same. Our motivation what separates us.
For sure.
Your motivation to get up and do what you got to do to get the A to Z, that's what separates us. Right. Because if our hand over any of our nostrils, we gonna go.
Right, for sure.
From Queen Elizabeth to Bill Gates, whoever, it's a wrap.
Yeah.
But your motivation to like, okay, I'm gonna endure all this ridicule. A lot of people ain't built for that.
For sure.
They just not.
No,
you know what I mean? So that's, when you have that passion, man, like a locomotive.
That come from your upbringing.
Yeah, no doubt. Because it was like, I grew up, grandmom grabbed me up, 13 years old. What you gonna do for the rest of your life, you little nigga? I'm like, what are you trying? No, no. America, you was born with 2 strikes. You was born a black male in this society. That's two. They don't have your best interests in mind. You have to do something to not be put in that bag.
For sure.
So my thing was, I used to get on the bus. I never sat on the back of the bus. You know, I know y'all generation too grew.
Like
Yeah, I mean, everybody, no,
said.
grandma said, no, we don't play that. I went in the front of the bus reading about W.B. Du Bois, Malcolm X, Langston Hughes. Look at Rube, this and that. I didn't even hear the noise.
Right.
You know what I mean? I'm flipping pages.
Mm-hmm.
And it's people that get to reach out to me on something like, I remember you used to do that.
Right.
That's why you here. That's why you there.
Right.
Oh, okay, yeah. You was building blocks.
For sure.
You know what I mean?
So, what's your favorite jersey? Like your personal favorite?
Well, I could say sports. Well, baseball is my favorite sport. So my favorite baseball jersey is the sleeveless 1963 Roberto Clemente.
Gotcha.
Yeah, that was like
That's
a
all
wool
time.
jersey,
Gotcha.
everything. Yeah, my favorite football jersey, you know, Eric Dickerson Rams. But the Steelers is my favorite team. But so I wore his Colts jersey in my HBO special they did on me. And but Eric Dickerson, I'll give you another story. I'm sitting at Papa Do's 2003 Super Bowl in Houston.
Right.
So I'm in there and I'm like, I look over the corner, I see Rod Woodson and Eric Dickerson. And mind you, these are like my top 5 ever football players.
Gotcha.
And know what you know they do? They come up to me, introduce themselves to me.
Mm-hmm.
The craziest thing, I'm a little kid idolizing this. Eric Dickerson runs like a gazelle. Rod Woodson, my favorite D-back on Pittsburgh Steelers. And they come up like, excuse me, like literally, excuse me, I don't want to interrupt you, but Big Rube, like you know what I mean? We know, thanks for what you're doing, you know what I mean? Making our jerseys popular again. And boy, we sitting over there with our family. Can we come? And they walked me over, introduced me to their family. Like literally, I could have fainted, but I had to hold it together. Like, hold up, Rod Woodson and Eric Dickerson, my football heroes, in the same room, come up and said they want to meet me.
Right, that's crazy.
Like, what?
That's crazy.
I just think about that Nas and Common song, Ghetto Dreams. Like, and it's crazy. That's what I was like, man, my book gonna be so crazy. Like, cause the things that I embarked on, you know, shaking Michael Jackson's hand.
Right.
Rick James take me on a tour around his crib. You know what I mean? Hanging out with Jamie Foxx at the Playboy Mansion.
Sheesh.
It's just crazy. It's like, just like I said, a kid with a dream longer than his arm's length, and just, man.
What Jay said, shit, I live a life you could write a book on.
It's
your
real
favorite
talk.
jersey? You had like 20 of them.
I really ain't got a favorite, but I know my first throwback was Jeff George, Atlanta Falcons, the white jump.
Number one.
Yep.
Right.
One of my best friends and me. It was a hand-me-down joint that had a bleach stain on it.
He had the 75 patch.
Yeah, definitely. But the first jersey I bought with my own money, Isaiah Thomas away, blue joint.
Okay.
So that joint was major for me.
Nice ribs on the
Then we
side.
was in the era of 3X joints, like
we definitely had
I changed that. You know what I mean? Because one thing I told my partner Peter, I was like, look, for us to maximize everything, we got to go up in sizes, like because 52 was the biggest size, they was only doing 54s for me because I was like, look, I wear my stuff bigger, but like they custom from size 40 to 52. So you know what I mean, and I had the companies the manufacturers that made the jersey, because they was all made in the United States, and they just was going up, and they was flying in. It was just like before Peter had to go to them and everything. They was all flying in because like everybody, it was lucrative for everybody.
Yeah,
You know what I mean? Like, hold up, we gotta meet this guy, Big Rube, and everything. So yeah, like my first anniversary party, all of them, all of the manufacturers and everything, they sponsored a 1 year anniversary party for me at Mitchell and Ness.
Okay.
Because it was just like, hold up, right? This guy just, man, it just keep blowing up. You know what I mean?
So you the one that picked out like all the jerseys that was gonna drop.
Yeah. All that, you know, the accessories like doing the t-shirts, the headbands, and you know, the sweatband, all that. You know what I mean? The branded stuff, because like I said, Mitchell and Ness became a household name.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? You heard Slim Thug on there. You like, and I met him before that record dropped. You know what I mean? Like, it's like this. At the Magic Convention, y'all ever heard of that? Vegas.
Yeah, Vegas. Yeah.
So this is 2001. Literally, at the Magic Convention, Mitchell and Ness was over in the sporting goods section, and you know, like everything was popping off in the so-called urban, whatever. I had to catch a shuttle bus over to the different convention, and I'm carrying pamphlets. You know, telling everybody, this and that. Literally 6 months later, I needed security to walk around the Magic show. Literally. Everybody was trying to, because between the me being in the, you know, and this is before social media and everything, like, so when I was in USA Today, everybody heard about it.
Right.
When I was on MTV News, when I was on the Today Show, everybody saw that, you know what I mean? So it was like, that's Big Rube. Like, it was just kind of like, and people